All right, we're on chapter 4 of The Borrowers. And when we last left the borrowers, Pod was just coming in, and Homily was cooking. And Homily was pretending she wasn't stressed out, even though she just was a little bit ago. All right, chapter 4. Pod came in slowly, his sack on his back. He leaned his hat pin with its dangling name tape against the wall, and on the middle of the kitchen table placed a doll's teacup that was the size of a mixing bowl. "Why, Pod," began Homily. "Got the saucer, too," he said, and he swung down the sack and untied the neck. "Here you are," he said, drawing out the saucer. "Matches it." He had a round, currant, bunny sort of face. Tonight it looked flabby. "Oh, Pod," said Homily, "you do look queer. Are you all right?" Pod sat down. "I'm fair enough," he said. "You went up the curtain," said Homily. "Oh, Pod, you shouldn't have. It's shaken you." Pod made a strange face. His eyes swiveled round toward Arrietty. Homily stared at him, her mouth open, and then she turned. "Come along, Arrietty," she said briskly. "You pop off to bed now like a good girl, and I'll bring you some supper." "Oh," said Arrietty, "can't I see the rest of the borrowings?" "Your father's got nothing now, only food. Off you pop. You've seen the cup and saucer." Arrietty went into the sitting room to put away her diary and took some time fixing her candle on the upturned drawing pin that served as its holder. "Whatever are you doing?" grumbled Homily. "Give it here. Now that's away. Now off to bed and fold your clothes, mind." "Good night, Papa," said Arrietty, kissing his flat white cheek. "Careful with the light," he said mechanically, and watched her with round eyes until she closed the door. "Now, Pod," said Homily, when they were alone, "tell me, what's the matter?" Pod looked at her blankly. "I've been seen," he said. Homily put out a groping hand for the edge of the table. She grasped it and lowered herself slowly on the stool. "Oh, Pod," she said. There was silence between them. Pod stared at Homily. Homily stared at the table. After a while, she raised her white face. "Badly?" she asked. Pod moved restlessly. "I don't know about badly, but I've been seen. Ain't that bad enough?" "No one," said Homily slowly, "has never been seen since Uncle Hendreary. He was the first, they say, for 45 years. A thought struck her, and she gripped the table. "It's no good, Pod. I won't emigrate." "No one's asked you to," said Pod. And then here's a picture. So this actually pertains to what happened just a little bit ago, which is Arrietty kissing his cheek before going to bed. And you can see there's the teacup and saucer, and there's Homily and Pod. All right. To go and live like Hendreary and Loopy in a badger set, the other side of the world, that's where they say it is, all among the earthworms. "It's 2 fields away above the spinney," said Pod. "Nuts, that's what they eat, and berries. I wouldn't wonder if they don't eat mice." "You've eaten mice yourself," Pod reminded her. "All draughts and fresh air and children growing up wild. Think of Arrietty," said Homily. "Think of the way she's been brought up, an only child. She'd catch her death. It's different for Hendreary." "Why?" said Pod. "He's got 4. "That's why," exclaimed Homily. "When you've got 4, they're brought up rough. Never mind that now. Who saw you?" "A boy," said Pod. "A what?" exclaimed Homily, staring. "A boy." Pod sketched out the rough shape in the air with his hands. "You know, a boy." "But there isn't. I mean, what sort of boy?" "I don't know what you mean, what sort of boy. A boy in a nightshirt. A boy. You know what a boy is, don't you?" "Yes," said Homily. "I know what a boy is. But there hasn't been a boy, not in this house, these 20 years. "Well," said Pod, "there's one here now." Homily stared down in silence, and Pod met her eyes. Where did he see you? Asked Homily at last. In the schoolroom. Oh, said Homily. When you were getting the cup? Yes, said Pod. Haven't you got eyes? Asked Homily. Couldn't you have looked first? There's never nobody in the schoolroom. And what's more, he went on, there wasn't today. Then where was he? In bed. In the night nursery or whatever it's called. That's where he was, sitting up in bed with the doors open. Well, you could have looked in the nursery. How could I, halfway up the curtain? That's where he was? Yes. With the cup? Yes. I couldn't get up or down. Oh, Pod, wailed Homily. I should never have let you go, not at your age. Now look here, said Pod. Don't mistake me. I got up all right. Got up like a bird, as you might say. Bobbles or no bobbles. But he leaned forward toward her. Afterwards, with the cup in me hand, if you see what I mean. He picked it up off the table. You see, it's heavy like, and you can hold it by the handle like this, but it drops or droops, as you might say. You should take a cup like this in your two hands. A bit of cheese off a shelf or an apple. Well, I drop that, give it a push, and it falls, and I climbs down in me own time and picks it up. But with the cup, you see what I mean? And coming down, you got to watch your feet. And as I say, some of the bobbles was missing. You didn't know what you could hold on to, not safely. Oh, Pod, said Homily, her eyes full of tears. What did you do? Well, said Pod, sitting back again. He took the cup. What do you mean? Exclaimed Homily, aghast. Pod avoided her eyes. Well, he'd been sitting up in the bed there, watching me, and I'd been on the curtain for a good 10 minutes because the hall clock had just struck the quarter. How do you mean he took the cup? Well, he got up out of bed, and there he was, standing, looking up. I'll take the cup, he said. Oh, gasped Homily, her eyes staring. You give it to him? He took it, said Pod, ever so gently, and then, when I was down, he'd give it to me. Homily put her face in her hands. Now don't take on, said Pod uneasily. He might have caught you, shuddered Homily in a stifled voice. Yes, he said Pod, but he just gave me the cup. Here you are, he said. Homily raised her face. What are we going to do? She asked. Pod sighed. Well, there's nothing we can do, except... Oh, no, exclaimed Homily. Not that, not emigrate. Not that, Pod. Now I've had a house so nice and a clock and all. We could take the clock, said Pod. There's another picture. So you can see up here. That is Pod holding the teacup. And then there's a little boy in a night dress helping him with it. And Ariette, what about her? She's not like those cousins. She can read, Pod. And so a treat. He don't know where we live, said Pod. But they look, exclaimed Homily. Remember Hendreary? They got the cat and... Now, said Pod, don't bring up the past. But you've got to think of it. They got the cat and... Yes, said Pod, but Eglantine was different. How different? She was Ariette's age. Well, they hadn't told her, you see. That's where they went wrong. They tried to make her believe that there wasn't nothing but under the floor. They never told her about Mrs. Driver or Crampfurl, least of all about cats. There wasn't any cat, Homily pointed out, not till Hendreary was seen. Well, there was then, said Pod. You got to tell them, that's what I say, or they try to find out for themselves. Pod, said Homily solemnly, we haven't told Ariette. Oh, she knows, said Pod as he moved uncomfortably. She's got her grading. She doesn't know about Eggletina. She doesn't know about being seen. Well, said Pod, we'll tell her. We always said we would. There's no hurry. Homily stood up. Pod, she said, we're going to tell her now. And that's the end of chapter 4. Things are just getting good. All right, I will see you back here with chapter 5. I hope you're liking it so far. Love you.